this segment of The Porch, we're going to be talking today with Dr. Mark Harrell, an ER physician here at Morristown Hamlin Hospital. We're going to talk with Mark a little bit about his life, his journey into medicine, but we're also going to talk with Mark about some special trips that he's made recently that I think you're going to find very, very interesting.
So, Mark, you have deep roots here in Morristown. You grew up here. Your family
Yes.
was here. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I was born in Knoxville, raised here all my life, and my mother and father have been here since well before I was born. So,
Okay, and your father was well known in the community.
very well known. Bruce Harrell with Mascot Harrell Auction Company for several years. The best way most people know him.
Okay, so tell us how you made your journey into medicine.
Well, that pretty much is all I've ever wanted to do. From a small child, I've always wanted to go into medicine.
Now, you're an ER physician. Do you have a specialty in that, or is it a...
Yeah,
that
ER
work?
is the specialty,
Okay.
and it's a emergency department, no office or anything like that, just emergency medicine.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So how has that led you into your medical missions both in Mexico and Africa?
Well, it led me into it by being able to do it. I was actually brought into it by a friend that I've known all my life, and she found out about a medical mission going on in Mexico that they wanted to start with Crossroads Missions and asked me to start it.
So what did you find when you got there?
Found a lot of poverty, a lot of people that were very wonderful people but very ill and not having a lot of support medically.
Now, is there when you go to these places, do these countries have healthcare systems as we do, or is this something where you basically go in and you're the only healthcare they've ever had?
Well, the countries do have health care. Mexico has a moderately well done health care system. However, if you are not employed, you don't have insurance and you don't have any access. So a lot of these people I've seen don't have access to medicine. They've never seen a doctor, but they do have, if they had any money, they could have access to medicine.
So what's the living arrangements like there?
They have varying arrangements. Some of people live in very nice homes, but most of the population lives somewhere in the as bad as cardboard houses and just sticks and pieces of wood they found to make a home.
How, Mark, has that motivated you? How has that, really changed your view of what you do here and what you can do there?
Well, it has really made me go there more often because the people are so loving and accepting and grateful for what little you do for them. I mean, they have no electricity, no running water, no indoor plumbing. They'll have people living 8, 9 people in one home that's one room and happy about it and willing to let you use that to help their community.
Wow. So they're self-sacrificing even in this just to get the help.
With nothing.
Amazing. Amazing.
Well, so when you've worked with the people there, have you seen some exposed to diseases or things that we don't have here?
Mexico, not so much. Mexico it's just across the border from Eagle Pass, Texas, and it's about the same. I mean, you go across the border and you see the same people that you saw on the other side.
Okay. So what about Africa? Did you see something?
Africa is very different.
Okay, so
Very
stay
different.
tuned for the second part of this, and we will talk to Mark about his adventures in Africa.
Hi, I'm Morgan with Morgan Marketing and Morristown TV Today. If you want your business to be seen on some of these popular channels, contact Miss Deborah. Miss Deborah, what's the number in some of the networks?
The number is 423-231-2308, and your business can be seen on networks such as USA, Fox News, Food, Lifetime, and many others.
And remember, keep watching Morristown TV Today.
Welcome back to The Porch. Again, today we're with Dr. Mark Harrell, ER doctor at Morristown Hamlin Hospital. And while we were off camera, Mark, you were telling us a story about a couple that brought you their food while you were helping in Mexico.
Yeah, we had been there for most of the week, and the community realized that if we hadn't gotten back by a little bit after dark, we probably wouldn't have any meal. So the family that was sponsoring us in the neighborhood went ahead and fed their children, and then the husband and wife brought their meal for that night to the physicians. It wasn't their extra, it was what they were going to have, and there was nothing else left in their home.
So they sacrificed their own food to make sure y'all were fed while you were there helping them.
It's the most difficult meal I've ever eaten.
I bet.
That had to be an inspiration to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to see these people in that condition and to know that they appreciated so much what you were doing for
Yes.
them, that they were willing to give you the very essentials of life just to say thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes it very easy to go back.
I can imagine.
And in Mexico in particular, I have been going there since '94. I've watched the 12-year-old child grow up, get married, and have a child
Wow.
That
in the
is
same family.
amazing.
Very nice.
That is amazing.
And some of the other things you're talking about. Tell us a story about the camera and the other things we take for granted.
Oh yes, we were in Kenya this past summer, and I was at Tenwick Hospital, which is a very high-level hospital according to Kenyan standards. And we were walking around their grounds, and this family, husband, wife, and child, came up, and I had a camera, the tourists taking pictures, and they asked if I would take their picture because they had never had any of them a picture taken.
Wow.
What was the reaction when you showed it to them?
The child just giggled, and the father was extremely proud. He was walking this way when I took the picture, and as he left, he was walking with his family like that. It was very nice.
Yeah. So as far as the living conditions, as well as obviously we've talked about the medical conditions, tell us what you saw while you were in Africa.
In Africa, the people are absolutely wonderful. They're loving. They're fantastic people, but they have nothing. They live in homes. Many of them are metal, corrugated metal with no windows, because in some of the places they live, there's a lot of theft there. There's very little violent crime, but a lot of theft, and so they don't have windows because somebody could get in a window, and they only have a door.
So, Mark, I'm thinking, as I'm listening to what you were sharing with us about the conditions there and all the things that you've seen and experienced, and it makes me wonder, how's that affected you now back here in your life, in your day-to-day life, your work, your social life? How's that affected what you do on a daily basis now?
Well, it does allow me to be much more grateful than I was before I went and experienced these things. God has given us a wonderful country and a wonderful group of people here that do care about each other in the most part, and has given us things that we can improve our lives with. And over there, they make wonderful things happen with nothing. And sometimes it makes me feel very bad about myself that I don't make better things happen with what I have available.
Certainly makes us think about our choices, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mark, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing your adventures with us in Mexico and Africa. But most importantly, thank you for what you do for this community here in Morristown at the hospital.
My pleasure.
And thank you for staying with us on this segment of Porch.